Hello folks, how you doing there in YouTube land? My name's Ken, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my Porsche 928, which I'm currently driving right now. First of all, before I get into that, I'm going to tell you I'm on my way to go meet a friend who has taken an interest in 928s, and it looks like he's about to buy his first 928. This particular one is actually an S4. We're going to go check it out, see if it's the one that he wants. Now, about my 928, this is a 1984 928S, which I bought about 8 months ago for, well, maybe it's 10 months ago now, I'm not sure. But anyway, I bought it for $3,400 Canadian. That's pretty cheap for a Porsche. First of all, the condition of it wasn't perfect. Mechanically, it was great, but cosmetically, it was a little bit ugly. The interior, as usual with these old cars, was pretty bad. Like the dash was cracked. The carpet was old and worn and not really fitting tight anymore. A few bits were missing, and the exterior of the car, there was a fender that was painted by a spray can, didn't match properly, so it didn't look good. It did not look like a Porsche should look. So I put some TLC into it, made it look nice. I've changed the carpet, started on a two-tone interior, as you can probably see is going on there. Reskinned the dash. I have yet to have the seats reupholstered. Right now they just got seat covers on it, but that's good enough for now. That's an expensive part, so I've been waiting until I have enough money to make sure I do the highest quality job that can be done. Now, the value of these cars, in good condition, are rising very fast. This exact model, a friend of mine in the US on Facebook, just sold him the exact year, the same model, for $15,000 in really good condition. And it also had an aftermarket supercharger installed, which I guess increased the value some. A lot of people think that ruining the originality of this car is a bad thing. Well, yes, to a degree. If you start making the car look like a whole different car, then what's the point of buying this car in the first place? However, modernizing it with modern technology, modern engine management systems, and turbocharging it, which I am going to do, is bringing this car up to standard of a modern-day supercar. This car was the fastest production car in its day on the road that is sold to the world. 172 miles per hour, 0 to 100 in about 7.2 seconds, or 0 to 62 miles per hour. Now, I've already started boosting up the performance a little bit. I've got a custom exhaust made. I've taken off a lot of the old school pollution crap. I've gotten rid of the belt-driven fan, put an electric one in. Little things that are more or less releasing the power that's already there. So this one, being a North American model, it has 240 approximately horsepower stock, and now I'm guessing it's about 260, 265 total. However, when it's turbocharged, according to a few others that have already been done by the person who's going to be doing it, when it's maxed out, it will have approximately 500 horsepower at the crank. So about 450, 460 at the wheels, something like that. Now the thing about the motor of this car and the transmission, they were way overbuilt for their day. You can put 600 horsepower through the transmission and this car without doing it any damage. So 500 is actually within the manufacturer's specifications. The manufacturer's specifications, they always leave a margin of error. But I'm not going to go over that. 500 horsepower is plenty enough for me. I mean, why would I need more than that? So the history of the 928 a little bit, for those of you that don't know. A lot of people say it was discontinued because enthusiasts of Porsche weren't catching on to the front engine, rear transmission deal. They wanted the air-cooled rear engine, which basically is not a lot more than an over-engineered Volkswagen. No offense to 911s, I like 911s too. But there's There's also an opinion that they discontinued this car because it was killing their flagship, the 911, because it's much faster for the equivalent years of production as they came up, like an 84 911 and an 84 928. The 928 is quite a bit faster, like top speed an extra 30 miles per hour, something like that. And they didn't want to kill the 911. Anyway, who knows what the reason is, but I like that story best. I mean, this is faster, a faster Porsche. So they discontinued it because they wanted to keep the 911 alive. Sure, why not? Whatever. But anyway, the value of these cars are going up. They're going up and they're a good investment. You can still get them for well under $10,000 because a lot of them cosmetically are really horrible to look at. But if you can afford to have it restored, or better yet, if you have the skills to restore it yourself, then they're a good investment, because who knows? It could take 5 years, could take 1 year, could take 25 years. Who knows how long it's gonna take? But sooner or later, these cars are gonna be huge value, absolutely huge value, and there's no doubt about that. Porsche is talking about bringing back a new 928 because now minds are opening up a little more and they're a little more open to modern tech and not just the air-cooled rear engine. And if that happens, then the old school original 928s are going to go through the roof in value. A lot of people don't even know what they are. Once they get exposed more to the new generation to know what they are, then the value is going to go through the roof. They're solid. They're good cars. Yes, the interiors usually kind of rot out of them because, well, it's just the way they are. But mechanically, they just keep going and keep going and keep going. This is a 31-year-old car. The transmission has not been rebuilt. The engine has not been rebuilt. It's just a regular 60,000 kilometer or 5-year timing belt change. That's the only real major maintenance. And it doesn't shake, it doesn't rattle, it doesn't skip a beat, it doesn't knock, the valves are quiet, the transmission's quiet, the exhaust is a little loud, but that's on purpose. They go forever. American cars, give it 12, 15 years, 15 years if you're really lucky, and they're falling apart. They're rusting, they're getting old, they're good cars, but they don't go forever. This is designed as an intercontinental touring car. That means you drive it across one country, you take it on a boat, and then you go to the next country and drive it across that. It's meant to drive around the world. At high speed too, mind you. So they go forever. Anybody who wants a 928 or who doesn't know about a 928 should seriously think about looking at one. Now, a lot of people think that they just don't have the power of a modern car, and that's true, they don't. But 240 to 300 horsepower back in the day, that was a lot of power. Think about the Camaros and the Chevys and the Mustangs then, they had under 200 horsepower, and they were still considered muscle cars. But it does not take much to get these things pumping. Once you learn how the kind of different function of the transmission works, you can get it going. And besides that, they're a Porsche. They're a nice car. You can cruise with style and comfort and just pure flat out fun. So I'm going to keep this channel on YouTube for my 928 and let you know how it goes. And of course I post other car events and car shows and car tours and stuff that go on. But for now, I'm just going to keep you posted on how things go. And I can't wait to show you how this thing's going to go when it's turbocharged. You can also see a few videos here in my 0 to 100 tests to see what has increased and how much the power and the performance and also how I've changed and improved, and I put a wood grain vinyl wrap on my dash and stuff like that. So check it out. Look through my channel, subscribe, keep in touch, and listen to this thing roar. Listen to it.